Hi dancers, Jess here. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Whole Dancer. Today I want to talk about dressing for your body type in ballet. This is something that, I kind of wrestled with tackling this topic for a bit because from the whole dancer standpoint, I think that you should wear whatever you want, whenever you want, and be empowered to wear it and feel good in it regardless of your body type. I think that if you like it and you feel good in it, then that's all that really matters. So I want to put that out there first and make sure that you all know you should just wear whatever feels good to you, whatever makes you happy. If it's a color, if it's a print, if it's a style, if you like lace, if you like mesh, whatever you enjoy, you should wear it. And that's the bottom line. Anything else that I say in this video is just like something to think about, pay attention to. It was a question that I had during some of the audition workshops that I've done. A dancer asked, can you do a video or something on dressing for your body type in ballet? And I will say that part of why I thought maybe it would be a good idea to look at is because I know that when I was younger, both in regular clothes and dance clothes, I didn't think about it at all. And, I felt really good in some things and not so great in other things. And now I know part of that does come down to some of this advice or some of these thoughts on dressing for your body type that I'm going to share. I kind of started to realize that, when I wear this, I feel good. And, now that I know more about dressing for your body type and things like that, that makes sense because that happens to be a silhouette that is more flattering for my body type. So I'm going to give this advice or some things to think about. But as I said, let me say it again, the bottom line is that you should just wear what makes you feel good. Odds are the leotards that you love wearing the most are also the ones that happen to work best for your body type. So you probably already kind of know what looks good on you or what you feel good in. And so it's just a matter of thinking about it and applying it and, following those intuitions because we all have them and you're all very smart and I'm sure you already kind of know some of these things. So leotard styles, necklines are a big thing, right? If you have a smaller upper half and a larger bottom half, I'm also going to say now, I'm not going to use any of those fruit references for body types. I'm not going to call you a pear shape or an apple shape or I just saw today a banana shape. That one is supposed to be even up and down. I'm not going to go into any of that because I think it's ridiculous for us to categorize ourselves based on fruit shapes. You're a human, you're beautiful, your body is different and unique, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's the same silhouette as a pear or an apple. That's ridiculous. You're a person. So smaller on top, larger on the bottom. This is what I fall into. So this is the one that I feel most knowledgeable on because it's what I've been dressing for over 30 years. And like I said, I tried to dress it in certain ways in my youth and it didn't work as well. And I've sort of changed that. And now I think that I dress much smarter for my body type. Some things to keep in mind. I think a lot of times if you have a larger bottom half, as a dancer and otherwise, you want to hide that. So for a very long time, I used to wear longer shirts that would cover my butt and things that went past my butt or things that went past my hips. And because of that, there were sometimes outfits that ended up stopping on my largest part. So on the largest part of my hips, that's where the shirt would stop because I was trying to cover part of my butt or something like that. And because of that I was accentuating those parts that I maybe was trying to hide by wearing longer shirts. So it's later in life that I started wearing things that were more fitted on my waist and realized that if I picked out a good silhouette on top, it would balance out my bottom half. So silhouettes on top, leotard silhouettes. I looked at Yumiko's website to give you all some specific leotards that are in this body shape or in this silhouette so that you can look at them when you're thinking about your body shape. If you're smaller on top, a boat neckline is going to make your shoulders look wider, and that's going to balance out your bottom half. Same with a racerback neckline, so one that comes in on the shoulders and then has like that T-back in the back. So on Yumiko's website, a boat neck is going to be the Sofiane cut, and a racerback would be the Alex or the Laura in mesh. And both of those make shoulders appear a bit wider, so they'll balance out the bottom half and make you look more symmetrical on top and on bottom. Colors and prints on top are great if you're smaller on the top, because again, it's going to make your upper half look a bit bigger. And then anytime I would get a two-tone leotard later on, when I thought more about these sorts of things, I would always get dark colors on the bottom and lighter colors on top. Again, for that same reason, it's balancing out your top and bottom half. A neckline, if you have a larger bust or a larger top half, would be a halter that lifts everything up, and it again makes you look just a bit more balanced and proportional. I mean, it's important to keep in mind, as much as I don't want you personally to dwell on these things, since this question came from an audition workshop, that kind of makes sense, because in an audition workshop, you're very focused on what the other person is seeing, what the artistic director or teacher is seeing when they look at you. And if you create a little bit of a visual illusion for them with the right leotard, that's a great thing, because artistic directors still are looking for proportions, and they're still considering how they feel that looks. So if you can create a little bit of a visual, like I said, illusion for them that makes you look super proportional and balanced, that's just going to serve you as far as like getting the job. And as I also said, it might make you feel better when you're dressing in clothes that are going to make you look more balanced, and it's going to increase your confidence by feeling like what you see in the mirror is something that you feel good about. So a universally flattering neckline would be a V-neck. So whether you have a larger bust, smaller upper half, larger, whatever, the V neckline tends to be universally flattering. I kind of think that's easy to see. I feel like a camisole leotard looks really nice on just about everyone, regardless of your size. I think that it's a great cut. The thin strap I think is nice. Keep in mind with straps and things like that, sleeves, if a sleeve ends on what would be like the largest part of your arm, that's going to be accentuated. So if you feel like, you don't love the way your upper arm looks, a 3/4 or a longer half sleeve looks nice. You can always go with a long sleeve. I think long sleeve leotards are beautiful on just about everyone. But once again, don't let any of these things keep you from wearing something that you want to wear or that you feel good in. And I kind of think too, the concept or the idea of faking it till you make it and working towards body confidence, even if you don't feel like you're fully there, is really important. I went through a very long time when I wouldn't wear sleeveless tops or short sleeves unless I was in ballet, because I thought my arms were large. And it's just silly. I mean, it's hot in the summer. Everyone should feel comfortable in a tank top or a short sleeve shirt because you want to be comfortable. So keep that in mind too. Again, I have to say, I'll probably say throughout this video, you have to just wear what you want to wear and what you feel good in and what makes sense, and all of that. So please don't ever forget that. In terms of skirts and leg cuts, keep in mind that I think I went through a period of time when I went through a time after attending the Kirov Academy for a summer intensive where I was wearing my leotards much higher up on my hips. And for my leg shape and stuff, I really don't think it was all that flattering. There was the idea that wearing it higher up like that would make your legs look longer, but I kind of think it was just a little bit funny looking on me anyway. My legs are not super short, but they're not super long either. I would say they're probably average proportion with my body or whatever. So that's a good thing to keep in mind that lifting it up is not necessarily the best thing, but also pulling it down is not great either. When it comes to leg lines, I think the most universally flattering leg line is just like the middle of the road one, not one that's hiked up super high and not one that's pulled down on your thigh. Keep that in mind as well. So yeah, wherever something ends, whether it's a leg line, whether it's a sleeve, whether it's a neckline, wherever the end point is, that area is going to be highlighted. So it's best if you think about that and say, okay, like, is that a part of my body that I feel good about highlighting? So with leg lines, like I said, you know, if I pulled it down, it was gonna be on mid-thigh and make that a little bit bigger. But for me, if I pulled it up, that would accentuate hips. Once again, I felt a little bit bigger. So that mid-level leg line was best for me. So that's something to think about with your own legs. If you have super long legs, you probably can wear any kind of leg line that you want, any kind of leotard bottom half that you want. If your legs are a bit shorter and you're evenly proportioned, you might be better off pulling up the leg line and trying to make your legs look a bit extended, while still focusing on the fact that you have a well-proportioned leg and hip and butt. When it comes to skirts, I do think that if you have shorter legs, a shorter skirt is going to elongate the leg because you're showing off more leg, but you still have that skirt there. So it's creating this illusion of length in the leg. Shorter legged people might stay away from longer skirts. Although, as I said, my legs are probably like average. I wear a long skirt sometimes just because I like it. And again, that's just what we should do as well. Especially once you're in a place where if you're not in an audition and you can wear whatever you want, wear what you feel good in. That's the bottom line. If you're looking at auditions, once again, think about some of these stylistic neckline tips or skirt tips. When it comes to leg warmers and whatnot, once again, think about where it ends, it's highlighting. So you can keep leg warmers on the bottom half of your leg if you want to balance out the top half. I think it can make your top half of your leg look a bit slimmer if you have that leg warmer on the bottom half kind of balancing out the leg. If you have a leg warmer that comes higher up on the thigh, just keep in mind if you feel like your thighs are bigger, you might want it to go down lower so that it doesn't end in the middle of the thigh and accentuate what you feel is not your best attribute. Warm-ups on your top half. If you have a narrow waist, always highlight the waist. It's nice, it's comfortable, I know, to wear like baggier clothes sometimes, especially when you're warming up. But if you have a smaller waist, it's always a good idea to accentuate that. And so, you know, whether you tie a shirt at the waist or buy things that have a waist tie or a wrap or something like that, that's going to make you look more balanced and proportional as well. So those are some of my tips for dressing for your body type in ballet. I will say one more time, the bottom line with this is that you need to wear what you want and what you enjoy and what feels good on you. And no matter what your body type, you can dance if that's what you choose to do. And if you're aspiring professional dancer, don't let your body type dissuade you from moving forward in dance, because companies are going to start to expand more and more. I can feel it. It's still a little bit of a battle and a lot of companies are resistant. But I think that as the current generation of dancers grows up and goes into artistic positions, we can change that standard, and we can change those negative influences that we've had in terms of body. And just remember that everybody can dance and everyone can make beauty in dance. And the most important thing is that you're confident in what you're doing and confident in what you're wearing. Thank you again so much for tuning in, dancers. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will be in touch. If you liked this video, please go ahead and click it a thumbs up underneath. If you have any comments, I would love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe to the Whole Dancer YouTube channel. I would love to have you follow us. Each and every week there will be at least one new video. Thanks so much, dancers. I will talk to you soon.